today we're going to be checking out government cave system, and it's right here. You wouldn't see it until you get right up to it, and right when you make that corner it appears. Here's the entrance, and it's a relatively unknown cave. Not a lot of people know about it or even come out to see it. But as we approach the entrance, that's a skin of a snake. Well, that's not freaky at all. It's at a very steep incline. That's interesting. A lot of caves tend to be very gradual at the entrance. Looking back at the entryway, say goodbye to the light because we're not going to see it for a little while. I actually don't know how extensive this cave is. So that's one tunnel. It's huge. And then going left is a second tunnel. I say we take the right tunnel, then loop back to the left one. One last look. A lot of reverberation right when you get in this tunnel. And I believe this was a lava tube. I don't know enough about this cave system. It's known as Government Cave System in the state of Idaho. It's on BLM land. And what I like is, since it is a relatively unknown cave, it's not advertised or anything, which means there's no graffiti. We're coming up to water right now. This gets wet as it begins to get very tight. I'm curious if it's going to be worth it to crawl through. This might open up, but it might not. I don't see any opened up section as I zoom in. I think we're going to loop back to this one and take the other entry. I made my way to the adjacent tunnel. Back here again. What is that? A piece of reflective. Let's see. Just a welcome sign. I missed that coming up because I didn't take this way. Instead, I went around these rocks and climbed that way. I'm thinking maybe that's an indication that this is the main tunnel. Awesome, it keeps going. I was afraid this may have been collapsed in. Looking back over, right there's my backpack. I'm gonna leave it. As we continue in. It's going for quite a ways. I'm glad I decided to take this one first. Otherwise we would have been crawling, wondering if we're going the right way or not. And it's getting foggy. That seems to be common in a lot of these cave systems. This one's not quite as cold as a lot of the caves I've gone to. It's probably the warmest one, but I'd say it's a good 70 degrees inside of here, which isn't too bad at all. Wow, that is insane looking. I like caving. Let me know how you guys like these videos. Okay, this is going for a long ways. One thing I will add is that it's a much drier cave than a lot I go into. Most of the caves I've seen so far will have water leaking from the ceiling area, where the water kind of comes down and it floods the whole floor. This one isn't like that. I hear the occasional water drip, but it's very dry comparatively. Okay, looks like we're gonna be crawling. It's gonna get tight. Somebody put down a blanket, oddly enough. We made it through. We're now on the second chamber. Interesting. All collapsed in once again. Very consistent theme with this cave is coming to these areas where they're collapsed in, get past them and it's open, and it collapses in again. One thing I always like seeing is the roofs. They're such an antithesis to the walls, because it's completely black. Then looking at the walls, they're not. Interesting placement for a ladder. I don't think too many people will use it, as you could just go around the rocks. But then as we continue, you're not going to believe this. Definitely need a ladder right there. So we have to climb up this. All the graffiti again. All right. I guess we will, if we want to keep going. That's what we just climbed up. I feel like we're going up in elevation right now. I'm not going to be surprised if this opens up to another entrance. Maybe there's two, who knows? But just looking at the ground, it's this sandy substance now. It's a sand. Which means this gets pretty regular floods. Another ladder? Are you kidding me? What the heck? So you gotta go up the ladder, and then they have rope to make it the rest of the way. Alright, it's not too easy to do with a camera. Okay. So far, 2 ladders. A lot of graffiti over here. That's why I'm curious. And the reverberation is going away. Coming up to some signage right now. Either it's gonna dead end or it's gonna open up. I think it's gonna dead end. You made it. Let's see what this says. All right, we made it. Let's see the logbook. 2024 August 5/27/24. Okay. 24 and May 2024. It's a while back. So it seems most people come in groups. They've all come on the same day. I always go alone usually. Let's put it back where it belongs. Right like that. And if you continue, they say it's the end of the cave. So it likely dead ends. Yeah. No? Maybe? Maybe you could crawl through, but I think that's a dead end. I don't think it's going to continue. Goodbye, government cave. This was an awesome exploration. I liked it. Last ladder to go down. That was a great cave system, and you wouldn't think it'd be so massive just based off the entrance. I cut out a lot of the walking just because it's all the same, and I really wanted to only show the highlights of the exploration. But it was a really long cave. I was in there for about an hour. But now I'm gonna get going, head back on the open road, and see if there's any other caves or anything worth exploring today. As always, put a like, comment down below, subscribe, and stay tuned for my next episode.